Welcome to Christ Tech. My name is Serene Turpin. Jesus said, "My sheep hear my voice and they will never follow another." If you hear God's voice in this message, please consider subscribing. Today's topic is the King and the Dreamcatcher. Stay tuned. Dr. Martin Luther King said, "I had a dream." In Dr. King's "I Had a Dream" speech, he stressed the importance of unity between races, the importance of racial equity and racial equality, and he also stressed the importance of justice for all and applying righteousness to our lives. King said, even with difficulties and frustration, he still had a dream. Ecclesiastes 5:3 says, "A dream comes when there are many worries." There are a lot of things to worry about right now in this world. Civil unrest, racial inequality, record unemployment, a divided nation, and a pandemic that's killing people, stoking fears, and instigating all of the above. There are a lot of worries right now in this world, so I would assume there are a lot of people dreaming. Some people have dream catchers hanging from the windows in their bedroom. They invest in talismans for protection. They believe there are bad dreams and nightmares floating all around in the air while they're sleeping, and those nightmares are trying to invade them. They believe a dream catcher can trap it and keep these nightmares and bad dreams from doing any harm. In Numbers chapter 12, verse 6, God said, "I reveal myself in visions. I speak to people in dreams." In the Bible, a king had a dream. Actually, he was a pharaoh, and the dream was a nightmare. But the nightmare was a warning sent from God that a severe famine was going to take place. This king, this pharaoh, he called for the magicians. He called for the diviners who can cast bones. He also called for those who understood omens. Even though they were employed by Pharaoh and highly regarded in their circles of influence, they were not built for this moment. What Pharaoh really needed was a Joseph. He needed a man of God who could properly interpret the dream, someone who could discern God's intentions, a person with the wisdom to coordinate an effective response. One man's nightmare was another man's rise to power. Joseph became the second highest ruler in all of Egypt. The nightmare and Joseph's opportunity for advancement was closely intertwined. In Genesis chapter 41, verses 56 to 57, it said the famine wasn't an isolated event. It devastated the known world. However, whatever chaos is taking place in the world, it doesn't matter to God. God used this disaster as a catalyst to put his people in places of power, influence, and leadership. In Psalm 105, verse 17 to 18, it said that God kept Joseph in chains, in despair, and suffering, and worry, with other people controlling his life and deciding his future until all the pieces were in place, and until it was time for God to fulfill the promise of blessing and favor that he intended for Joseph's life. With everything that's going on right now, civil unrest, COVID-19, record unemployment, maybe you feel like you're in a nightmare. Wouldn't it be wise to find a man of God or a woman of God to help you unpack your thoughts? Maybe your nightmare is actually your doorway to success. Give God your dreams. Give God your nightmares. Let God be your dream catcher. God wastes nothing. He'll never waste what you have entrusted to him. Actually, Actually, he can do exceedingly more than what we can ever ask for or imagine. In God's hands, a nightmare becomes a victory. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was well respected and highly regarded. He was a king amongst men, but even he must bow to Jesus, because Jesus is the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords. Thank you for checking out my channel, Christ Tech. As always, I'm just a technician in the kingdom of God. My job is to connect you, reconnect you, or provide the maintenance that keeps you up and running for Jesus. If you're still here and you're still listening to this, I think it's a good time right now for you to hit that like button and subscribe down below. Thank you.